am Joyeeta and this is my channel Explore with Joyeeta. Today I am gonna talk about Egypt. And guess what? I'm also gonna tell some of the interesting things of Egypt, like architectures of Egypt and also about mummies. This video is gonna be very interesting. So if you like my video, please subscribe my channel. Now let's move on.
The ancient Egyptians built their pyramids, tombs, temples and palaces out of stone, the most durable of all building materials. Apart from the pyramid, Egyptian buildings were decorated with paintings, carved stone images, hieroglyphs and three-dimensional statues. Egyptian architecture developed since 3000 BC and characterized by post and lintel construction. The two most important of Egyptian architecture were pyramids and temples. Both were built to honor important figures in Egyptian society. The Egyptian pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs and their consorts. Since the ancient Egyptians believed in afterlife, the pharaohs built these extravagant tombs for themselves during their reign. The megalithic pyramids were built using limestone, real muscle power and precise engineering. Although the construction materials used were simple, the Egyptian builders employed some very innovative building techniques. High-grade limestones were pursued. The stones were later carved and chiseled so that they will perfectly stay together without the usage of mortar. The massive limestone blocks were heaved up using humongous ramps. Creation of pyramid-like structure would be challenging even now with modern construction techniques. The fact that Egyptians managed to build not one but numerous sturdy pyramids is beyond everyone's comprehension and still astounds everyone. So now let us know about some of the famous architectures in Egypt. Number 1. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Constructed from 2580 to 2560 BC. One of the 7 wonders of the world, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the largest of all the surviving pyramids in Egypt. The pyramid has no documented evidence of its construction. Archaeologists believe that the pyramid was built over a tomb dedicated to a pharaoh named Khufu and his family. Initially, it was 146.7 meters tall, but with weather conditions and erosions, it has now been reduced to 168.8 meters and stretches 230 meters in length. The pyramid has 3 chambers: the king's room, the queen's room, and a large passageway known as the Great Gallery. Around the pyramid, there are 3 smaller pyramids that are believed to have been built for Khufu's wives. The Great Pyramid has been built from heavy stone blocks that are stacked repeatedly all the way up to his head. It was built by the royal architecture, Hemione, and skilled workers were used in its construction instead of slaves. It is believed to have taken 20 years to complete. Number 2. The Great Sphinx of Giza. The Great Sphinx of Giza is a statue of the mythical creature known as the Sphinx. In Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx was a creature with the body of a lion and head of a human. Archaeologists believed that it was created around 2500 BC and represents the pharaoh Khafre. The Great Sphinx is a monolith which was modeled in the shape of a lion, at the back from various layers extending to its tail, and with a human face believed to be that of Pharaoh Khafre. It is a gigantic structure that is 73 meters long, 20 meters high, and 6 meters wide. The facial features of the structure alone are each 1 meter tall and are carved out of bedrock. The mythical Sphinx has a great prominence in the history of Egypt and is believed to be the source of the food cycle. Some scholars believe there may have been a celestial purpose to the Great Sphinx and temple complex, that is, to resurrect the soul of the pharaoh by channeling the power of the sun and other gods. It is also believed that the structure was created to guard the Great Pyramids, but it has eroded over time. Number 3. The Temple of Abu Simbel. The Abu Simbel temples are two temples in Abu Simbel carved out of massive solid rocks. Situated on the bank of Lake Nasser, the temples were built under the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II. The exterior part of the temple has 4 humongous 20-meter statues of Ramses crowned and seated on a throne. The interior of the temples have various colossal statues lined up and decreasing in size, with the rooms from the entrance to the sanctuary. A few carvings of baboons and people worshipping can also be found around the entrance to the temple. It is believed that Ramses built the temple to intimidate his enemies and seat himself amongst the gods. One of the 4 statues of the pharaoh has been damaged by natural erosion and weather conditions over the years. So these were few of the famous architectures in Egypt. We also learned new things like what is Sphinx, which pharaoh built these architectures, why were the pyramids made. Now let us know what's inside this pyramid. The pyramids are primarily tombs. They mainly have a burial chamber inside. The pharaoh's mummified body was buried along with many other artifacts. Ancient Egyptians buried food, clothing, furniture and other everyday items along with the body so that the deceased could use it during his or her afterlife. They also used magic spells, funerary text, and protective amulets to provide help and protection to the dead bodies from evil and human infiltrators. A special mask was put on the face of the mummified body to provide strength to the spirit of the deceased and guard it. The mask was also intended to help the spirit recognize the body. Yeah, I know. Now you are thinking, why were these mummies even made? What's the use of preserving a dead person's body? And yes, I have the answer for it. So let me read it to you. The Egyptians believed in life after death. They also believed that they had to preserve their bodies so they could use them in the afterlife. Now let us know, how were these mummies made? 1. The body was washed. 2. A cut was made on the left side of the abdomen and the internal organs, intestines, livers, lungs, stomachs were removed. The heart, which the ancient Egyptians believed to be the center of emotion and intelligence, was left in the body of use in the next life. 3. A hooked instrument was used to remove the brain through the nose. The brain was not considered to be important and was thrown away. 4. The body and the internal organs were packed with natural salt for 40 days to remove all moisture. 5. The dried organs were wrapped in linen and placed in canopic jars. The lid of each jar was shaped to represent one of Horus's 4 sons. 6. The body was cleaned and dried skin rubbed with oil. 7. The body was packed with sawdust and rags and the open cuts sealed with wax. 8. The body was wrapped in linen bandages. About 20 layers were used and this took 15 to 20 days. 9. A death mask was placed over the bandages. 10. The bandaged body was placed in a shroud, which was secured with linen strips. 11. The body was then placed in a decorated mummy case or coffin. Through this process, mummies were interred into their tombs. Egyptian embalmers were so skilled that people mummified 4,000 years ago still have skin, hair, and recognizable features such as scars and tattoos. And also let me tell you that Anubis was the god of mummification. He had a body of a human and head of a jackal. His job was to prepare the bodies of the dead to be received by Osiris. Archaeologists continue to find these mummies at excavation sites like King Tutankhamun, Ramses II, Hatshepsut, etc.
Well, this was my video today. I hope you found this video interesting. Well, meet you in the next video. Bye bye.